My friends, the great experiment.
Starfleet Academy.
Hidden trick.
Would you look at that?
The greatest trick.
And you people, you're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek.
The greatest trick.
Welcome to Greatest Trek. It's a new Star Trek podcast from the makers of The Greatest Generation. I'm Ben Harrison.
I'm Adam Pranica.
Coming into the home stretch here with Starfleet Academy.
Are we now?
Yeah, this is episode 8. We only got 2 more.
Incredible.
I really feel like we tore through them.
Notable about our screeners right now, we get fewer watches of them and more secure versions.
Yeah.
So I think FODs out there might like to know about the user experience watching a screener. You must use a QR code to log in, and we've had login credentials for many years now, thankfully and gratefully, in order to receive these. But the way that you interact with these things has changed in that if you start and stop the show a bunch to take notes the way I do, the way I think you do,
Yeah.
I have realized that there is also a timeline that the program operates in that makes you restart the episode from the beginning if you're paused too long. For
Right.
example, like if you pause 10 times and you make your viewing experience of that 1 hour show into like an hour and 40 minutes, you will technically have to watch that episode a couple of times with the way that they count the number of screenings you receive.
Right. Or, for example, what went down with me this morning, which is I watched the first half hour or so of the episode, and then I had to do some childcare stuff, and then came back to my office, and that entire view is burned.
Yeah,
So I had
yeah.
to start a new view and find where I was in the program. It does not save your spot.
It doesn't. No.
And the fact that this also has 2-factor authentication. So to play an episode, it texts you a number to your phone, and then you have to put that in on the TV to get to watch it.
In order to fast forward to the spot where I left off, I have also found that the thing will glitch if you go too fast too soon. You got to let the episode load, because if you go too fast too soon, you'll also blow another viewing of the episode and you'll have to back out and start all over again. So once you start again, I have found that you cannot go 5 times speed fast forward.
Yeah.
I will just 2 times speed it and then wait for the 5 or 10 minutes it takes to arrive at the spot in the episode where I need, and then we'll begin again.
I have to say, these episodes are long. They take more note-taking than episodes of old Trek do, in my case. And I think we should just jump right into this one. This is a big episode.
Yeah, it really is.
A lot happens.
I think a lot of us were wondering when we would see the return of the character we get in this episode. This, the 8th episode of Starfleet Academy's first season. It's called The Life of the Stars.
You know the greatest danger facing us is an irrational fear of the unknown.
I feel fantastic.
Black alert.
We start on a doctor's log. Mark is very, very old, and he is also not a being that needs to go to sleep at night. So he can't even sleep his way through half of his eternity to be alive.
San Francisco on a type of weather day. Kind of the perfect place to have a little bit of a bum out if you were to have one, as it seems Dr. Mark is having here.
The USS Athena has the biggest bum out window in Starfleet. Easily.
You could be more bummed than you ever thought possible in front of a window this big.
Time is the beast that we're all chewed in.
Time is my beast.
Time is going to hunt you down.
We learn that Tarima is back at Starfleet Academy. She's got a better pip in her neck, so that's good.
Yeah, the neck thingy is back along with her. This is an unfortunate return for her because as she walks in, all the rest of the cadets are looking at her. She was, of course, on the mission that killed Bobby the Vulcan.
Right.
Kind of a terrible mission. Everyone's bummed out about that. We learn on this log that a decision was made. That sort of New York Times passive voice bullshit way of putting that a decision was made to transfer her from the War College to Starfleet Academy. And Nala Ake and Dr. Mark should have met her at the door and walked her in, because the idea of having her parade in front of everyone's askance looks, I thought was like unintentionally cruel.
She's in this uniform that she's never worn before, and everybody is like, oh, she's back. The girl that went through that thing.
I hope no one makes her scream.
I thought it was interesting the way they rolled this information out in the voiceover, because it is not immediately clear whether she had any involvement in this decision because of that passive voice thing. Like, you have to actually read the article to get the context. And it was the administration, and they have basically done this as an intervention because of the danger to her if she's in the kinds of stressful situations she was confronted with on the Miyazaki. Do something chill or you'll die is basically the medical prescription.
Just take it easy, man.
I'm perfectly calm, dude.
This is a group of administrators that have maybe never watched Star Trek before, because they have decided that a department like science or engineering would provide fewer opportunities to die in a life-threatening manner. Ben, I want to argue that were you to graduate from Starfleet Academy, all jobs have a high potential for death and danger once you graduate.
I mean, I was thinking maybe she should become like a ship's counselor, given her Betazoid lineage and the proud history of Betazoids working as ship's counselors. But it's not like even the potted plants are in grave danger on starships.
It's very true.
Oh, shit.
Tarima does not really want what Nala Ake and Dr. Mark are offering, which feels very perfunctory, very performative, very obligatory, like the support they're offering. It's oddly cold, I felt.
Yeah, and impersonal in a way that is actually understandable, because I imagine she wouldn't be as familiar with the administration at this school as she was at the school that she actually wanted to be in. But yeah, weird vibes in this moment. We also catch sight of Cadet Franco, who seems to also be very punchy in the aftermath of everything he's been through.
No one's okay. Everyone seems to know it, too.
There's like a Kobayashi Maru style simulation on the bridge that the rest of the gang's involved with, and they completely blow it. Nobody has time to eat an apple during this experience, and Jet Reno thinks they suck.
That was a spectacular failure of teamwork. Everyone get the hell off the bridge now. Thank you.
All I could think watching the cadets blow this mission was what they need more than a counselor is a Nathan Fielder to come in and fix this situation.
You're an awful, awful person.
What if you could rehearse every space anomaly you encounter?
I know. Is that not what an academy is? That's what it's there to do. So all the students are brought into a classroom, and the cadets are learning right now, in this moment, that Tarima is back. And she's going to be a student at the academy and not the war college. And, actually sitting in on this class, actually. So it appears as though she is also decorated with a black baldric. I think this is the strap to a book bag or something, but I thought it was interesting that when she sits down, you can't really tell. Yeah. And she's got like the sort of black sash that those in some like police jobs will put like the little ribbon over the badge, or like many jobs have this sort of declaration of grief that is a part of their uniform. And I thought that might be this.
Yeah, we learned from Ake that they've been through some trauma counseling, but that is not has not helped, and she thinks that they need to bring in some reinforcement. So the gang get called to this mysterious class meeting. Jaden is sneezing, and for all of Jaden being a return to form for the Klingons on Star Trek, I was really missing the super loud Worf sneeze.
Yeah.
When he's blowing his boogers. I missed that sneeze. That was such a fun episode.
A Klingon sneeze?
Yeah.
Only kind I know.
Tarima is going to room with Genesis and Sam, but she's not going to talk to Caleb.
Also back, not just Tarima, is Sylvia Tilly,
I'm Lieutenant Sylvia Tilly. My name lacks authority.
What?
What?
who is there to teach a theater class to the students. And right away, it is suggested that it is not just theater, it is something else. You know, theater is the top line thing. The subtext is other useful things. In this scene, statecraft is that subtext.
I think Sylvia Tilly makes a self-assured point about it being statecraft, but I was like, have any of these characters expressed any interest in statecraft?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Sadal kids are proximate to it, as is Cadet Franco, due to their like proximity to political power on their homeworlds.
Interesting use of Sylvia Tilly's character in this episode, because I don't think you need to know anything about this character to understand what her deal is on this episode. And kind of feel like that's too bad.
Yeah, there were a number of points all the way through this where I was wondering if Sylvia Tilly was going to be like, you know, I went through a thing that was really hard for me, and what I learned from it was X. And that is just not the role she has chosen to play with these kids.
She like looks at Jet Reno later in a knowing glance. Like that's basically as far as we get in stuff like that. And it made me wonder, and I want to be clear, I have not heard any behind the scenes stuff from anyone that we know or anyone who's been on our show as a guest about this. But I wonder if this character could have been anyone. And it was decided that Sylvia Tilly could be the character for it, like later on down the road, because it seems like this character could have been generic student lecturer figure. And, oh yeah, I guess this would be fine for Tilly. Like, let's go ahead and make that happen. It seems like kind of a giveaway.
Yeah. Well, she says that she's been with the third years in the Beta Quadrant, which was also like I guess they did start up Starfleet Academy at Starfleet HQ in Discovery, so that was like when she cycled into being a teacher.
Right.
So maybe that is where the kids that are in the higher grades are still. But yeah, everyone has to pick a play in Sylvia's theater class, and they will bring it in next time for the decision of which play the class will put on. And Sam, who is immediately teacher's pet, is so fucking excited about this.
I think it says a lot that Sam's character is so beloved by everyone else that even when everyone is extremely bummed and not really wanting to feel joy in any kind of way, she isn't totally annoying to them. Because I feel like in real life, when you just want to have a bum out for really good reasons, the last thing you want is to be in class with someone like Sam. And no one feels that way because Sam's great.
Yeah. Tarima and Sam hang out a little bit in the dorm room, and Tarima like expresses some appreciation to Sam. Like, I really like that you are just treating me like myself and not the person with the harpy scream that kills bad guys.
Sometimes Sam's personality technology works. Like when she makes Tarima laugh for what feels like maybe the first time in a month, but also it doesn't. Like when Sam uses the laugh as a way to get into talking about how she's feeling that she isn't really ready to share with anyone.
Yeah. Tarima kind of pulls back in this moment, and the like emotional scars that are very evident in Tarima are mirrored by holographic scars that we see appear on Sam in a way that Tarima cannot see.
I'm not sure I was aware of how painful these were to Sam until right now. Like, it seemed like glitching before when we saw this, but it really seems to hurt in this particular case.
Yeah, no good. And that's our cold open.
Would you look at that?
After the theme, we're in Nala Ake's office taking a meeting with Jet Reno and Sylvia Tilly, and it's a girls' drinking night, and it's an open bar.
Yeah.
What are we having?
Something with a proof. Yeah.
To Ake, the cadets need trauma counseling from what happened on the Miyazaki, and Reno and Tilly are there to provide that in a way that doesn't seem like therapy, like something far more subtle, something sneaky.
I like them calling themselves the women that time forgot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some real levity in this scene that I enjoyed, but it's also tempered with some pretty heavy stakes, right? They've got to save these kids. These kids need saving, especially Tarima, before they destroy themselves and each other. The stakes are pretty high.
They're kind of crashing out.
Yeah.
And for Tilly and Jet, the thing that saved them was Starfleet, the thing that made them be able to deal with the hard things was Starfleet. But
for Nala Ake, it was fucking hundreds of people over 1,000 years or whatever.
And collecting like amazing liquor in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Morning has broken on campus the next day, and Caleb hits up Tarima in the hallway, and kind of the predicted outcome has occurred here. He ghosted her for a month after experiencing the worst trauma in her life, and she hates him for that. So, pretty big hole to dig out from, Caleb.
I was so fucking glad that the better second letter that he wrote her in the last episode did not fix the situation. Like,
how could it?
I think in so many TV shows, like, the other person sees that for the like perfectly intentioned thing it is, and they just throw their arms around each other and all is forgiven. And I just don't think that that would be realistic in this moment. So I was really glad that they chose to keep Tarima alienated from Caleb.
In the classroom, the students are presenting what they learned doing their homework. This is like a book report about a play that they're doing in front of class, right?
Yeah. The play that Jaden has suggested they do is a real fucking bloodbath. And it features quadra-testicles, which
is a thing we predicted not that long ago.
I think we may have talked about that on the last episode of this show.
Yeah, incredible.
They've been served the heart and the quadra-testicles of their fathers before them.
Can you imagine getting 4 big snips?
Ooh, yeah.
That's a long afternoon.
But yeah, he's got this cold, and so he's ordered to quarantine by Tilly.
Didn't get that. Tilly sending him to his room? Send him to the doctor, Tilly. What are you doing?
I guess, does he have like some sort of like free will surrounding that? Like, does he not have to if he doesn't wanna?
I don't know. I feel like when you're in school and you get sent to the nurse's office, you gotta go.
Right.
What are we talking about here?
Please tell me that they've cured the common cold in the 32nd century.
Nope. No way. Your bone broth is still moving if you're Klingon.
Yeah.
Sam's the next to present, and the play she chooses is Our Town. And this was a play I was familiar with, like, through its popularity. I think this was put to stage in my small town that I grew up in. I remember seeing it at the Village Theater.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was. But like I saw it at such a young age, like I can't really remember much about it, and so its reference in this episode made me think a lot about like how hard it would hit most people. Yeah. Like, is it so popular that most people would know it? I doubt that.
I sort of wondered the same thing because like a theater dork in high school wanting to put on a production of Our Town is like a cultural reference, I feel like. Mm-hmm. It's like very famous as that kind of thing. And it was never put on in my middle school or high school, and I've never seen it. So
Yeah.
And I've never read it. So I felt a little bit out of my depth. I mean, I feel the same way when like James Bond is running around behind the scenes in an opera with a sniper rifle. It's like, I know that like probably what's going on in the opera has something interesting about it to say about the action in the scene, but I don't know enough about opera for it to be relevant to me.
And that's the challenge, right? I think when you're breaking a story of television, you've got to presume that your audience doesn't get the reference. And so you must create a story that makes that unnecessary if you don't.
And similarly, it has to persuade the characters that this is necessary. Like Caleb is like, what are slice of life in ancient small towns stories going to do to help us learn to be members of Starfleet?
Yeah, the theme of hopeful defiance is stated as a term for the characters in our town. Very defiant are the students about even participating in this class.
And for those of you still bristling with confusion and or resentment, I don't care.
They get cast. Genesis is going to play Caleb's mom.
Caleb and Sam are the leads.
Yeah.
And everything goes like a normal classroom discussion until Sam hits the deck and starts glitching out.
Dr. Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
In 6 has scanned Sam and says that the patch that they did at the Denver Hollow Spa has been failing for weeks. And Sam has not been telling people that the glitches are still happening.
I think Dr. Mark is feeling incredulous about like why Sam wouldn't tell him. Where for the rest of the episode, I completely understand why she wouldn't tell him anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Why wasn't she being vulnerable to me when I said repeatedly to her face that I didn't want anything to do with her?
Yeah. Yeah. The scanner results are in very quickly, and the doctor tells Nala Ake that Sam is in some sort of feedback loop that they can't get her out of. And the patch that she got in Denver, that didn't work. And since the events of the Miyazaki, you know, these things have been building in her, and Dr. Mark's out of his depth. It seems like this would be a good fit between doctor and patient, given that they're both hollows. He can't fix this one this time.
No. And it is decided pretty quickly that Nala Ake, Dr. Mark, and Sam are going to go to Kasq for help. Like, that is the only recourse that they have to fix her at this point.
This represents one of the most dangerous things you can do on Star Trek. Hop into a shuttle and go to a place.
Yeah, I was like, man, is Kasq super far away? It kind of feels like crazy to go on a shuttle.
It is proposed and confirmed as an itinerary. They have this conversation, and the very next scene, a shuttle takes off, and they go. But we go to the inside of Genesis's and Tarima's room.
Genesis! Yes, Genesis!
Where they can't believe Sam would just leave without saying goodbye. There is a note, though. Sam wants Tarima to play the lead in our town, so that's nice. All Genesis got was a replacement for the toilet toothbrush that Sam ruined.
Yeah, I like that they're keeping black toothbrush continuity.
I do too.
I kept looking at that toothbrush the whole time, wondering if Sam like loaded a backup of herself into it or something.
Right.
Like it felt
like you look at the bottom of the toothbrush and there's a USB-C port in there.
Yeah. It seemed so totemic, and I was like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess the toothbrush has been a running thing, but yeah.
Does this toothbrush also read as big to you?
It looks super big.
Like a veterinary toothbrush, you know?
Right. Yeah. Which those things seem to wear out so fast compared to the ones that they make for people's.
Yeah. Yeah. They're 800 years in the future brushing the old school way.
Yeah.
Hey! Cheaters don't deserve Nausicaa and Latinum! And you people, you're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek.
The greatest Trek.
The next day in class, folks are a little distracted by the fact that the most popular and fun person in the entire school is sick and maybe dying, but certainly not on campus anymore.
Yeah.
But Tilly has them power through.
We're going to jump into this play, and Tarima has to start. She has to read for Emily, and she is not really doing much justice to the words on the page. She is reading through them by rote.
I hate him. I wish I were dead.
And they start talking about, like, what this character is going through, like, and it's, you know, that she has, like, lots of misgivings about a wedding, and Durham is like, that's extremely relevant to my personal experience.
There's a feeling starting here that I wanted to talk to you about, which is, like, I can understand how the characters on this show, like the adult characters on this show, are trying to shepherd the students through a difficult situation, and they're trying to do this with a little bit of subterfuge. It's not subtle at all. Everyone gets it immediately.
Yeah.
There seems to be an understanding among the adults that the kids wouldn't get a more direct approach, but something Tilly says here comes so close to that I wish it was a little more emphatic, like said a little louder and more directly, which is, a captain has to be a captain even on days they don't feel like it. Like, none of you all feel like it, but, like, that's part of the job. That's part of what we're trying to achieve here, is creating the sort of person that, you know, lives up to their obligations and both lead and serve the people that they're with, even on days that aren't their best. And I was wondering why something like that was never said directly. I feel like kids would understand that in a logical way.
And it would be kind of top of mind at a military academy, which this is like sort of.
Yeah.
Like the idea of duty, both to please that booty and to, like, have the backs of the other people in your unit.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead, they just choose the subtle the whole time. And, I mean, everyone, maybe even especially Tarima, is totally perceptive about what this class is trying to be, and they resist it utterly.
Can't someone just not want to do this?
What's this?
One thing I was thinking about was what a neat trick it was for Tilly to say, everybody pick a play and bring it in, and then she just picks the second one they hear because it's the perfect play. Like,
yeah.
I feel like she is playing the odds that one of the plays that somebody picks will be pretty relevant. And
Sam, for some reason, picks Equus.
Finally get to see Caleb's dick. Tarima just punches out, though. She's like, fuck this. Like, I see what you're doing, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to sit here and feel my feels in front of all of you, so I'm leaving.
Also starting here and continuing throughout the rest of the episode, I just found it deeply unfair that she had to bear her grief in front of everyone. That in order to process it, it must be done with everyone instead of, like, having a little bit of private time with a teacher or a counselor. Like, that it was so public made me think about all the embarrassing and tough shit I had to go through as an adolescent.
Yeah.
Where, like, the very last thing I wanted to do was re-experience an embarrassment that I had in front of other classmates in another public way.
Yeah, and to add to that, it's not very captain-like. Like, that is something that a captain has the luxury of processing in private in a way that they're not affording her here. I just watched an episode of The Diplomat where the Kerry Russell character meets the vice president, and they have this, like, very frank conversation about, like, what leadership looks like in a woman. And it's like it's a really good scene because it's like two people talking about, like, their physical appearances with each other as choices, but in, like, we're not judging these as the way people judge the way women look, but, like, as in the real politic way of, like, the way people need to feel when they are being led.
This was in Mayor of Easttown? Because I got bumped a little bit with you referring to a different show.
Yeah, they were like, you don't want to spill the water ice on your sweater if you're going to lead people, is basically the upshot of the scene.
Big moment.
Yeah.
On the shuttle to Kasq, it's Nala Ake and Sam and Dr. Mark, and we learned what Kasq is like. It has got a very heavy gravity, and it exists in an unusual spot of space-time that is kind of like Interstellar, where every 3 Earth days is 5 years on Kasq.
So Dr. Mark is like, all right, as someone who has been to a faster time planet before, let me tell you how this goes.
He hits the button on the DVD VHS combo player, puts in a disc from Star Trek Voyager. Have you seen the episode Blink of an Eye? That was my inner light. And to make this even more about me, how are the folks on your planet gonna like me, Sam? Asks Dr. Mark. You know, because I'm someone who made a decision to live and work with solid people on Starfleet ships. I imagine they wouldn't like that about me very much.
She's like, yeah, how do you think they're going to feel about you just kicking dirt in my face every time I asked you to be my mentor?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. What's so fucked up about this interaction is like, Dr. Mark is like, what about me and my feelings? And Sam is like, you're great. You're my mentor. Dr. Mark's like, fuck you, no!
Sam was like, I'm literally dying.
I feel like we're having a couple of conversations constantly this episode. Like, and this one specifically is about like the broad work the episode does and the scene work that the episode does and how they might conflict. Because at this moment in the episode and until so late, we're like, why is he being such a dick to her? Like, he's not just indifferent. He's like straight up hostile to Sam.
Yeah.
I am trying to approach this diagnostically. I don't have time for any other nonsense.
It isn't nonsense. It's my life.
And the dig that they're doing to the Dr. Mark character is so deep. There were moments in the episode that I was like, there is no explanation that would be sufficient to recover him from what they're doing to this character.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels really cruel in this moment. And Sam is like being vulnerable and expressing and if you'll forgive the term, true humanity.
Yeah.
Why, the very name is racist.
And it triggers a big set of glitches. So they actually have to put her into sleep mode.
Yeah. I mean, Nala Ake just sort of watches this in a way that I was kind of waiting and wondering whether or not she was going to jump in and go like, hey, doctor, act like a doctor. Because that's not what this is. Like, this is not compassionate care.
Do you think when you're an Eternal, you just like give other Eternals
a pass? Yeah,
I think you're just like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Sick dunk, Dr. Mark, up top. Cut over to Caleb's dorm room, and hey, it's a message from Tarima. That's surprising. And it is evidently an invitation to come meet and have a drink in the botanical lab. Uh-oh.
Turns out it's a drunk dial.
She got started early, didn't she?
She's on that Tears of Krasari. She is turned.
1 shot gives you a nice buzz, 2 gets you wasted, 3 lands you in medbay. But happy ending.
We talk about this all the time. Act drunk, difficult for an actor. Zoe Steiner, up to the task.
Yeah, no kidding. Did a great job with this.
Yeah.
We're drinking to her new neural inhibitor, the thing that is plugged into her neck in place of the one she ripped out. She passes the bottle to Caleb, who does not take a drink. And we start talking about the letter that he wrote her and what a miss it was to have sent it as late as he did, even though it was better than the other one that he didn't send.
You can't say you miss a person and then not talk to them for a month and like have made the choice to do that.
You just can't, guys.
Because she's like, cool, you missed me for that month? You ignored me? Everything he describes about how he's feeling is just weaponized back against him correctly, you know? He tries to find common ground with her. Like, he tries a whole bunch of ways to, like, get on her level. For instance, he doesn't want to be at the academy either. That's something we have in common, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, no one thinks he is a dangerous weapon the way they believe her to be.
You are a deadly weapon.
They're never going to be alike like that.
Strange moment where they get real close and she wants him to put his hand on her mouth so that she can talk through it.
What a moment for a bit, because she's like, you ghosted me for a month. How dare you, Caleb Mir?
You merely adopted having complicated internal emotions. I was born there.
Watch me take out your penis and break it over my knee.
I'm going to suck on your finger now. Then you have my permission to die.
He doesn't want to do this while she's drunk.
No.
No way.
Probably the first good move he's pulled since she was in a coma.
This makes her very upset, though.
Yeah.
She tells him that she feels like he got close to her only to run away again. And maybe he'd be better off with someone like Genesis.
Like, if you're gonna poke your dick into something, it might as well not be an incinerator like me.
Yeah, because I will turn that thing into a chipped spoon. Believe me.
The greatest trick
Is yet to come.
Interesting that Genesis is her new roommate, because Genesis is trying to study when drunk-ass Tarima comes back to the dorm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she was like crying at the end of the previous scene when Caleb left, so she goes back to her room, and this is a moment that college roommates are built for, right? Like, in college, you are breaking and putting yourself back together over and over again, and sometimes your roommates are around to help. This is that scene. Drunk Tarima tells Genesis that she reminds her of someone, but the rule is you only tell someone if the person you're comparing them to is known for being really good looking, right?
Right.
What's going on here? I don't think I love this comparison.
She got stuck in a tube slide, and she was never the same again.
Are they also known for being really good looking? Please tell me.
But like the main thing that they're known for is like the hots, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like we're looking at our old selves across the gulf that we can no longer cross and missing that person.
Yeah.
Genesis's opinion is also that Tarima should not worry about her and Caleb. They're just friends.
Yeah. The top bunk isn't for drunks, I don't think. Because in the wider shot, like, Tarima's being tucked in up there, and then as the camera pulls back, this kind of looks like a trundle bed situation.
Yeah, there's like a seating area under the bed area.
Yeah. Yeah. Trundle beds, the worst.
Go ahead and sleep that one off, Tarima.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the shuttle, Mark is talking to Ake about the play and about how the stage manager in the play exists outside of time, much like two characters I can think of.
Yeah, is one of the characters a theremin? Are the characters two theremins? Hard to know. They are a part of a pretty exclusive club. The Everyone Dies Around You club. Forever and ever.
I was thinking about like what that must be like as a student to be in the presence of people that have lived that like hundreds of years, and also people that have jumped through hundreds of years of time. Like those are people you interact with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And like how strange it must feel to be like, well, you guys live forever. What about me?
Not really a conflict on this show. Like, it is something that this type of person discusses amongst themselves, but it's not something that the students ever bring up, I feel like.
Yeah. What's that quote about, like, life is what happens while you're making plans?
I think the quote actually, Ben, is life is a highway.
That's kind of the upshot of what they're talking about here. Like, the who lives and dies of it all is important, but they're reflecting on what it's like to live through all of that. And they come out of warp and we see Kasq, and boy, Kasq is scary.
It looks like the the little paper thing you do on the playground where you open it up, you close it up, you open it up, you close it up, and you go through the game. What is that called?
MASH? Was that called MASH, where you like find out who you're going to marry and what kind of house you're going to live in?
That's it exactly. Yeah.
Cootie catcher?
The shuttle flies on into that hole.
Yeah.
This exterior doesn't look welcoming. I want to say that. Like, I compared it to a children's toy made out of paper. Like, if you're in a shuttle, I feel like not enough is made about how threatening it is to be on the doorstep of this thing.
It didn't look not like a Borg cube, you know?
Yeah, fair.
So, yeah, they go through and we're in the academy, but it's all black and white with a big stack of Pro Mist filters on the lens and then like pink cherry blossom petals falling all around them. And one of the makers, a blue one, shows up and says, "Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Kasq.
Show me what you've got."
Jack says you got a great big cock.
Well, I don't know. I guess so.
This maker already knows everything.
Yeah, it kind of makes the Mitch Hedberg case of having put a stick and a leaf in the jar that they're in to remind them of their natural environment. And it's like, so can we like swarm your student now? And they're like, what is that? That sounds really, really gross. Is it as gross as it sounds?
It sounds scary. Scary in a way that makes Sam want the comfort of who she still, for some reason, believes is her mentor. And when she asks to hold the doctor's hand during this procedure, he won't do it. And she turns away from him and like big tears fall out of her eyes. And it is fucking devastating.
Yeah. She really fucking carried this moment.
This is the second time in my notes where I'm like, we are waiting too long to resolve why he is the way he is, because I feel like the point of no return might have happened here.
Well, they watch while she re-experiences some memories, and these memories center a lot on him and him rebuffing her.
Can you imagine if you see your life flashing before your eyes, or like someone else's life flashing before a group of people's eyes, including you and your friends and so forth, and it's like all ways that you've been a dick to them? That would suck so bad.
Yeah. Life is a highway of me being a dick, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, it's so rough. This is a scene that recalls what it was like for Ben Sisko anytime he encountered the prophets, though, right?
It really reminded me of that in a lot of ways. But crucially, like, the maker here actually says some stuff that we can understand.
Yeah.
Like it's like this is a procedure that we have to do to identify what is causing Sam's glitches, but it is also like mystical and weird in a prophet experience kind of way.
Dr. Mark wants to fast forward this so badly, I bet. Track forward. Cut to theater class again, led by Professor Tilly, and this time there's a breakthrough with a few of the students. But will Tarima also break through? It doesn't seem like it. The other students are sort of getting closer to being on the level, but she definitely isn't. And this feels like a gang up, right?
Yeah. Like Tilly is really pushing Tarima and putting the screws in. Like they're talking about this marriage scene in the play where the characters aren't ready and are frustrated by their lack of choice and all that. And Tarima is just trying to fucking knuckle under and get through this, get through class so she can go do other shit. And Tilly finally gets her to engage because she will fail if she doesn't.
If the "it's not your fault" scene in Good Will Hunting happened in a class full of people, I feel like that's the alt. That's what we're seeing here. Like, that scene in that movie had the sense to give the main character some privacy to work through their feelings instead of making them play out in front of her friends and classmates, you know?
Yeah. I wish we had a scene in a previous episode where Tarima explained a little bit more deeply what drew her to the War College specifically.
You know why we can't have that scene? And you know why we can't have a private moment between Tarima and Sylvia Tilly? It's because she's not on the show anymore. Like, that this was a guest actor for this episode doesn't mean that, like, we get an arc where Tarima becomes close to a faculty member in a way that, like, helps her through this traumatic moment. I think that's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we removed the key faculty members from the class to go on the shuttle mission.
We did.
What we need is Dax back. Bring back Dax.
Bring back Dax. Dax for main character.
Yeah.
So the Emily character in the play becomes a ghost, and there's like this big discussion of how Tarima is not a ghost, and everybody wants her back, and she can come back. Like they don't think that she's the freak that she imagines them to believe her to be.
Caleb's like, that's okay. You don't have to be a ghost, but can I be a ghost, Dad? It's me, Caleb Beer, Ghost Dad. All the students like whip around. They're like, no, oh,
no, don't do
it. How does he even know that reference?
I've been going through ancient Earth texts. The play I have brought is in fact the screenplay for.
That's why we never got to see his theater book report.
Back in the black and white realm, the makers are like, okay, well, we looked under the hood. Sam is definitely not fixable, so we're going to total her out, and you guys can go home. And Ake's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? You can't fix her? And they're like, no, you don't know what went into building this.
Not only can we not fix her, we will not be making another, and you will not be hearing from us again.
We don't like what you've got.
RSVP Sam.
It's crazy how fast this comes. Like,
yeah.
Fade to black on the termination of Series Acclamation Mill.
Yeah. Tarima's brother tells the group of cadets that his sister is out of there. And we see this scene in B-roll while he talks. And the rest of the cadets are hanging out wondering why there hasn't been an update about Sam yet either. Pretty bad couple of days. They're thinking the worst. Like, they have no information, but like hearing nothing kind of suggests the worst outcome.
The speculation has been something that Sylvia Tilly has been urging them not to engage in. But when Genesis pulled that toothbrush out of her book bag, I was like, okay, like the toothbrush is in the atrium. Like, this is a big deal. Like, something is going to happen with the toothbrush that resurrects Sam.
That's such a security on walkie-talkie. The toothbrush is in the atrium. Repeat, the toothbrush is in the atrium.
Yeah, that's my Secret Service code name.
Yeah.
But no, the toothbrush is not significant in that way. It is just a totem of her love and affection for Sam. And Occam kind of presents the idea that Sam left this play and put Tarima in it so that the rest of them could see hope in spite of tragedy. And he like launches into it.
Occam's like, do you want to mount this play? Caleb's like, hell yeah, I want to mount this. You want to mount this, Tarima? You want to mount this play? Let's do it.
She's not there to answer, but they get going. And we cut back to Dr. Mark standing over the hollow corpse of the student that wanted to connect with him most of all.
When you're dead on a bed and you're sitting at someone's bedside, is that sitting at dead side? I think it probably is.
Yeah,
you could say it that way, right?
Yeah. Interesting that nobody had to do that thing where they pull the fingers over the eyes to close Sam's hollow eyes.
I know. Dr. Mark sits there and says more to Sam's dead body than he's ever said when Sam was alive, telling her all about the life he led on that one episode of Voyager and how Sam reminded him so much of the loss he felt at the end of that lifetime. And that loss is why he couldn't take her hand. That's why he's been freezing her out. He didn't want to get close to her so that he'd ever be in a position to feel that kind of loss again.
How do you feel about what this scene does for Dr. Mark up until now? Like, do you think he gets himself out of the whole, like, not that he is saying this to try to redeem himself, but does this redeem the character for you?
I wish it was dosed out a little more than in one scene where his grief is unmasked and his reasons are laid bare in one moment.
Mm-hmm.
It was too deep a hole. I really don't feel like this scene was sufficient, especially because put yourself in the point of view of a Star Trek viewer who maybe isn't super encyclopedically versed on all the episodes of Voyager.
Yeah.
You're going off of what he's saying here. You're not really even seeing, like, you're seeing like ghostly vignettes of this life he's describing, but you don't feel it in the way that he's talking about. It would take going back and watching that episode to do, and 98% of the people watching this episode will not do that.
I gotta say, I'm coming on the other side of this. Like, I thought Picardo's performance in this moment was powerful enough that it worked for me.
I don't want to diminish the power of his performance, which I thought was incredible, which was beautiful and vulnerable and everything else. But I just feel like the function of it came up short in saving and redeeming his character for what he's done. Because if the show is about attracting a new audience for a new era in Star Trek, that new audience is just going to see an old man being a dick at the student in class that everyone fucking loves.
I wonder if my perspective is a little different because I'm like in the midst of grief right now because of the passing of my beloved dog, Darwin.
RSVP Darwin, I feel like we got to say.
Yeah, and I'm like in that period where like my son has suggested like, let's get a new dog. And I'm like, no, like dog not replaceable. And
hey, Daron, should we get a new kid?
You know, like, and I think it's important to say that owning a dog is as big a responsibility and as big an emotional connection as having a child. So I totally understand him not wanting to have another child.
So are you saying the Doctor's depiction of grief served to make him forgiven as a character for what he's done? Because, like, in the aftermath of Darwin's death, you have been especially cruel to me and Wynde and everyone else who works for Uxbridge Shimoda. Like, do you have any sort of regrets about that?
Well, I kind of consider you all as potentially adoptable dogs. Like, that's kind of the way I relate to you. And I don't want to adopt a dog right now.
Fair.
Don't you understand? Get! I don't want you anymore! Get!
I mean, like, I think that the thing that is maybe a little bit off about this scene is that Sam is not alive to receive this and process it and understand it in her own terms. This is something that the Doctor is saying for his own benefit, and I can totally get with that not being something that works for you.
The way you described this made me think about what follows a little differently, because they ask the Blue Maker if they can start over with Sam, and the Blue Maker's like, no, obviously not. Like, one of one is none. Sam has died.
Yeah.
And so, like, they're talking it out in the room, and they're like, look, you made Sam a fully formed teenager without any youth to serve as resilience for the hard times that any person encounters when they're an adolescent. In other words, the makers blew it.
You blew it.
What if we got another turn here? What if Sam got a childhood and maybe a parent also in order to, like, experience all the things a person needs to that serves them as they grow into adolescence and adulthood? We just gotta find a parent. Who's that gonna be? And like the Blue Maker and Nala Ake sort of look at Dr. Mark, waiting.
And he like thinks that they're looking at somebody behind him, so he turns to look and he's like, oh, me? Oh, that's kind of the last thing I could have possibly envisioned for myself on this road trip.
I'm gesturing broadly toward every interaction I've ever had with Sam. Unfit parent. And he articulates the feelings he has. He's like, the curse of infinite life is only bearable if I avoid attachments. That's what this whole thing is about, because I don't want to feel the loss that comes with that.
And Nala Ake is like, say less, Dr. Mark. Same.
Yeah.
It me. I'm that.
I mean, I love the punctuation she puts on that. She's like, yeah, me too. But if you can't do that, go wait in the fucking shuttle.
So he volunteers to parent her on Kasq, and conveniently, Kasq is at an accelerated timeline. So she's going to have this weird set of double memories where she remembers her entire childhood with Dr. Mark and her time at the academy where he was a giant asshole to her over and over again. But that's the way they decide to do it.
I mean, I can remember the times when my parents were especially kind to me and the times when they were especially cruel. It kind of seems like most people have those memories. And I wonder what consequence that'll have as she re-enters the academy, like what sort of tension that'll create with her doctor/father.
Well, Occam reads a little bit of Our Town. Presumably, I don't know. I have to assume this is from the play.
Who can really say?
Well, we see a parenthood montage, and right at the crucial moment, Tarima decides to come back and participate in the play.
She mounts the play too.
It's a stand up and cheer moment. Sylvia Tilly saves the day by getting these no good teens to grapple with their emotions and be resilient.
In the denouement, Nala Ake and Jet Reno have to walk Tilly off the campus and off the show.
They take that that badge that they give you when you're like a temporary visitor on campus.
Yeah.
Like once you don't have this on, you can't be here anymore.
Back soon?
Hell yes. See ya, kiddo.
And as they do that, they run into Tarima, and they know that this is a moment where they should talk in private. And Tarima has learned what Tilly was trying to teach. She tells her, best teacher I ever had. She could probably say. Ake's personal log wraps things up. She tells us that Sam and Dr. Mark have lived a long time in the last 2 weeks, and she feels that utterly. Get a bunch of reaction shots to the return of Sam on campus, and everyone is really psyched to see her. Feel like everyone always is psyched to see Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, order is restored.
I'm always jealous of that. Like, when my wife sees her friends after not having seen them for a while, it's like such an explosion of positive energy. And when I see my friends after I haven't seen them for a while, I'm like, hey, you doing good?
One final shot is Nala Ake in black and white, and she's spotlit like she was in a play, like she was in Our Town.
But it's also like a Starfleet chevron, isn't it?
Fade to black.
Then there's a guy on the internet that invented putting a silhouette of Nala Ake over a Starfleet chevron that will sue.
Yeah, watch out. Ben, did you like this episode?
She'll always bring it home.
I really liked this episode. I wish I knew the play.
That would help.
That would help. But I didn't have as big an ick with how they did Dr. Mark as you. And I think that the parenthood montage is redemptive for the pit that they dug his character for me. So it really worked for me overall. It felt like a real banger, and especially after last week's episode, I was like, oh, thank God, like they got it back on the tracks. Was a feeling that I was feeling throughout watching this. So yeah, good ep.
We should watch Our Town as a bonus episode.
Yeah. Is there a movie of it?
There's a 1940 film starring William Holden and Martha Scott. It was nominated for all sorts of Academy Awards.
Dang.
We'll have to see about doing that maybe.
That sounds great.
That would help our understanding. It's streaming in a lot of places, so it seems like one we could do.
before we go back to Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah. Yeah, my feelings about this episode are complicated because I think this is a feeling I've had with a lot of new Star Trek moments, which is like there's no shortcut to caring. Like when Hammer died on Strange New Worlds, you're meant to feel a moment like that deeply. And there's just no time to have built up the equity in a character to feel the sort of deep feelings that are possible when you lose them or come close to losing them. And I feel the same way about how Dr. Mark treated Sam and how little explanation for that existed before this episode. Like, the show made a gamble that we care enough about these characters, like Sam and like Tarima, to be affected by their trauma and their recovery, but it takes time to do that. Like, there's no substitute for that. Mm-hmm. It is one of the hardest thing in making something creative for TV or a movie. It's so hard to like reduce the amount of time it takes to feel those deep feelings. And like it deploys some strategies that we're familiar with, like from Dead Poet Society and Good Will Hunting. Like Tilly even says it's not your fault in this episode. I think the most interesting part of the episode to me was like that conversation about the value of a memory versus a moment. So much of the modern philosophy that I read about and tend toward is like just trying to be present in today, in the moment that you're in, and not get so wrapped up in the past. And like this is an argument that two characters have that decide that the opposite is actually better, that it's actually the memory that has greater value than the moment you're in. And that really flipped a lot of what I think about life on its head. And like that's an interesting thought experiment to have, but that hole for Dr. Mark is so deep, Ben, and like hurt people, obviously, but this doctor's cruelty being so unexplained for so long, maybe we'll have a few more episodes where the tension of that is relieved a little bit more, but for right now, like I'm kind of holding a grudge still in a classic Adam way, you know?
Well, do you want to see if there's anything that makes you want to hold a grudge in the Priority 1 inbox?
That never happens in the P1 inbox.
Okay, I'm just saying let's go see.
All right.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
We've got a personal message on the show here. It's from Chris. It's to Eric, Rob, and Kurt. And it goes like this. I figured that using my No Spooners fantasy football winnings, buying a Priority 1 message was a solid use of the funds. I really look forward to our alt titles text thread of all the TGG/GT episodes. Can't wait to see the Cutters and Shaws in person this summer at Jugs. Love the pod. Keep up the great work. More factory seconds.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Good note from Chris there.
Yeah, there should be a new Factory Seconds out by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
Thanks for shouting that out. I love the idea of this text thread. The alt titles thread is a very fun idea.
Yeah.
By Chris, Eric, Rob, and Kurt.
Yeah, the phantom dings happen all the time on a show. Only one gets it for real. I
mean, occasionally we do move the dings around in post, and occasionally Wynde will present an episode to us for QA with 2 dings in it. Be like, you guys got to pick one.
2 dings is a Klingon podcast title. I love seeing a gambling winning go towards something fun. Good to see a Priority 1 message being purchased there out of yours, Chris. That's awesome. Second Priority 1 message, personal, from Big Rod.
Okay.
It's to you and me.
Finally, we hear from Big Rod.
Ben and Adam, happy 10-year anniversary.
Wow.
From Mount Pocono to LA, through weddings and kids, thank you for being our pals. We're still working on getting the USS John Mahoney into it, but we'll always have 2 of the greatest friends a production company could ever have. Here's to the next 10. Play whatever drop Wynde wants.
Wow. Like a breeze, got a rope around his waist, like a breeze. But he got pulled right into space, like a breeze. Guess you don't turn your back on the progenitor tech either, like a breen. The USS John Mahoney deserves to be christened. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. USS John Mahoney with a terribly ugly command chair on the bridge.
There's a butt in there, I hope.
Love that idea. Just as I love those who go to MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron and sign up for a Priority One message. Whether or not you're spending fantasy football winnings or making an announcement of things that you like about our show, any kind of way helps the production of what we do around here, and we appreciate it.
Hey, Adam.
What?
Did you find yourself an Edward Larkin?
Edward Larkin! Tough Larkin to find on this show. The mood of it being so sad.
Yeah.
Still always going to have a little interstitial of a Stephen Colbert announcement. Maybe that's who I'll make the Edward Larkin, you know? Stephen Colbert is atmosphere on this show. Mostly, and maybe especially because we hear his voice during the widest shots from up high. So I think maybe that's who I will nominate for mine on this particular episode. How about you, Ben?
I think I'm going to give it to Akam for being the guy who, is in the a cappella singing group who, starts snapping his fingers to get the...
He, slaps his chest,
Yeah, he gets it going.
You have to be so sure that everyone else is in, because if you're on that cliff and no one buys it,
yeah,
brutal.
It's like being slow clap guy, you know? Like if you try to get slow clap going and nobody follows you, you're just the guy that was clapping alone.
That's really tough. Yeah. Good Edward Larkin, Ben.
At the end of every episode of Greatest Trek, we like to leave people with a warning. A warning bois, that is.
Prepare a buoy and launch it when ready.
Warning buoys.
An emergency buoy. A warning buoy.
We really appreciate when people go out on the internet and express how much they like the show, especially in reviews. That really helps us rise through the algorithms. This one is just a comment on one of our Instagram posts, I believe, from Donna.vmp, who wrote, I live in Boston, and I was crossing the street with a walk light when I was struck by a big fuck-off SUV.
Oh, no.
Luckily, I got out of it with just some minor cuts and bruises, but I was listening to the boys' Trash Talk Section 31 while it was happening. So there's that.
Wow, so this comment was left on a reel on the Greatest Trek Instagram account where I talked about my near miss of being hit by a truck.
Yeah.
While on a dog walk with Ripley. Stuff's going around. Be careful out there.
Got to be careful in these streets.
What a terrible thing to listen to at the very, very end.
If that was the last thing you heard was our voices. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're still with us, Donna. Let's hope that people get a little bit more careful behind the wheels of their big fuck-off SUVs.
Yeah. And maybe listen to something else during a dangerous moment. You never know when it could be your last.
Yeah. Well, with that, we are going to leave the rest of the episode in the capable hands of our producer, Wynde Priddy, who will tell you a little bit about what's coming up next week.
Thanks, Wynde.
Take it away, Wynde. Bye-bye.
Greatest Trek is an Uxbridge Shimoda podcast on the Maximum Fun Network. It's hosted by Ben Harrison and Adam Pranica, and it's produced and edited by Wynde Priddy. I hope this isn't the last thing you hear, because next week, Ben and Adam will be back to cover Starfleet Academy's 9th episode. It's called 300th Night. Until then, we want to thank the members who contribute to help keep the show going. Setting up a membership is easy at MaximumFun.org/join, and you will get instant access to a ton of great bonus content when you set it up. We really appreciate your support. We also want to thank Adam Ragusia for composing the theme music, and a big thank you to Rob Adler and Bill Tilley for working on the @Greatest Trek social media pages that you can find and follow online. And be sure to use the hashtag Greatest Trek when you post about the show. Make sure you're signed up for the Greatest newsletter, and you can do that over at podshop.biz, and find us on YouTube, and make sure you're subscribed over there as well. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week on Greatest Trek.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows,
supported directly by you.